from dance floors to recording studios, the drum machine has revolutionized how we create and experience music. Today, we can't imagine electronic music and related music styles like pop, house, and techno without the gorgeous sounds with pulsing beats. But there was a time where this music device simply didn't exist. So, where did this groundbreaking instrument come from? And how did it evolve into a powerful tool it is today? To discover that, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us as we dive into the fascinating history of the drum machine. The story of the drum machine begins in the 1930s with rhythmic hum, created by Leon Theremin. The great inventor was also responsible for the instrument that received his name in the 1920s. The rhythmic hum was contemporary of another great inventions that allowed it to play electronic music in the 1930s. Can you believe it? That was the very fun, but these other instruments are filmed for another video. Often considered the first drum machine ever created, the rhythmic hum was an innovative instrument that could play rhythm patterns using tones. And yeah, that does sound like clucking chickens. Well, everything has a beginning. One interesting fact about this drum machine is that it could do crazy stuff with rhythm patterns that great devices couldn't reach even decades later. I'm talking about the capability of playing complex patterns as 2 beats against 3, 3 beats against 5, or what about 5 beats against both 7 and 9? However, the instrument's complexity and the lack of commercial viability meant it was more of an experiment than a mainstream success. In the 1950s, the Chamberlin rhythm was an early drum machine and electromechanical instrument created by Harry Chamberlin. The tape loop-based instrument was a precursor to the mellotron, using pre-recorded tapes from real drums and percussion controlled by some keys. It was crafted and accompanied organ players. By the end of that decade, the Wurlitzer Sideman became the first commercially available drum machine. This analog device offered pre-programmed rhythms like waltzes and tangos, making it popular among lounge performers and small bands. Although limited by today's standards, it marked a pivotal step in the drum machine's journey. And that's how it sounded like. The 1960s brought a considerable revolution with machines like the 1966 Olsen Rock made by KO that would become Korg some years later, and the 1966 Fox Percussion King that was adapted and used live by Kraftwerk, the German pioneers of popular electronic music in the next decade. While the 1960s brought technology innovation, the 1970s saw drum machines gain traction, particularly with the rise of analog synthesis. Devices like the Rhythm Ace, the Korg Mini Pops used by John Michael Jarre, the Roland CR78, and the Korg KR55 allowed musicians to program rhythms instead of relying solely on preset patterns. For the first time, musicians had creative control, setting the stage for the drum machine's integration into pop and electronic music. Songs like Blonde's Heart of Glass showcased how the drum machine could blend seamlessly into modern music, adding a futuristic feel that complemented the growth of electronic movement. The 1980s introduced a drum machine that changed everything, the Lind LM1. Created by Roger Lind, this was the first drum machine to use digital samples.
recorded from a real drum. Digital sample-based instruments like the CMI Fairlight, the synclavier, and the EMU were emerging and bringing new creative possibilities. Not distant with the drum machines, instruments like the Linn LM1 successor, the Linn Drum, became a staple in the decade's biggest hits, appearing in tracks by Prince, Madonna, Michael Jackson, One, and even the crazy MTV iDance. Oh, how I love that. Yeah, I'm crazy.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy.
The Linn Drum wasn't just a tool. It was an essential part of the sound that defined the 80s. Its punchy, realistic tones brought a human feel to electronic beats. While the Linn Drum ruled pop music, Roland was quietly creating a beast, a drum machine that would never get old. That was the TR-808, released in 1980. Believe it or not, initially it was a failure, but later it became a legend, a stupefying commercial success. Its warm, booming kick and snappy snares became synonymous with hip-hop, dance, and electronic music. Tracks like Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing and Africa Bambaata's Planet Rock cemented the 808 as a cornerstone of modern music. Kraftwerk's Music Nonstop in 1986 was another water divisor and a witness of how the 808 sound can never get old. While the 808 was waving many music genres like a piece of magma, John and its sibling, the TR-909, laid the foundation for house and techno in the mid-80s. By the 1990s, drum machines transitioned into the digital realm. Devices like the AK MPC series combined sampling and sequencing, allowing producers to chop and rearrange sounds in ways never before possible. The MPC became a key tool in hip-hop used by legends like Jay Dilla and Dr. Dre. Simultaneously, software like Fruit Loops and Reason began to emerge, bringing drum programming to personal computers. This shift made rhythm production accessible to anyone with a computer, democratizing music creation. The samples started to sound even more natural with the new digital possibilities. The Boss DR770, for example, incorporated perfectly the precise dynamic of a real drum kit. We can mention the Need for Speed 2 soundtrack that used a similar device to create power rock bands. Today, drum machines had reached new heights of innovation. Hardware like Electron's analog RYTM and hybrid tools like Ableton Push combine analog warmth with digital precision, offering endless possibilities for creativity. Meanwhile, the influence of drum machines can be heard everywhere, from trap's booming 808s to pulsating beats of EDM festivals. One question often asked is whether drum machines are replacing drummers. That was, for example, one of the reasons for Wolfgang Flür, ex-Kraftwerk percussionist, leave the band, feeling displaced as a drummer with the advent of sequencers and drum machines in the early 80s. The answer for this question is more nuanced. Rather than replacing human drummers, drum machines have become collaborators, offering new textures and rhythms to expand what is possible in music. As I mentioned, Wolfgang Flür from Kraftwerk, his successors, Fritz Hilpert in 1990 and Falk Griffinhagen in 2023, exemplify the integration between man and machine, while performing the dynamic live effects in concerts. Many artists, including musicians and DJs, today seamlessly blend the organic feel of live drums with the precision of the drum machines, creating a sound that's greater than the sum of its parts. The drum machine has evolved from a niche experiment to a crucial part of modern music. It shaped entire genres and inspired countless artists to push the boundaries of rhythm and sound. Whether it is a vintage device, a revival, or a software plugin, the drum machine's legacy lives in the hands of every producer who programs a beat. So the next time you hear a beat drop or a groove that makes you move, remember the incredible journey of the drum machine, an instrument that's not just changed music, but the way we feel it. What's your favorite drum machine moment? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into music history on COP TV. See you next time.